9:04, December 6th, 1917. There was a large blizzard that hit Halifax, but that was the least of their worries.
Several children were off to school. Everyone was living their lives normally.
A French Navy cruiser was carrying explosives from Halifax back to the war in Europe.
At this same time, the IMO was docking in the Halifax docks.
Both ships were headed in different directions, towards each other.
The IMO rubbed against the French cruiser Mont Blanc. Both ships broke out into flames.
All crew members of the Mont Blanc, knowing what was going to happen, evacuated.
Seconds later, a large explosion erupted from the Mont Blanc.
This was known as the Halifax explosion.
Vincent Coleman risked his life to get word out about the explosion.
Seconds after the explosion, a tidal wave occurred.
The elapsed time of the tidal wave and explosion lasted 10 seconds.
About 2,000 people were killed, and another 9,000 people were injured.
This is the second largest explosion in war history.
This was known as the biggest tragedy in Canadian history in terms of life loss and despair.
Halifax now sends Boston an Xmas tree every year in honor of the support they gave us after the explosion.
1/5 of the city was in ruins after the explosion.
The Mont Blanc was carrying nitroglycerin and trinquillion.
18 minutes after the explosion, the old sugar refinery and all buildings within a large area fell.
This explosion could be heard in Truro.
All crew members on the Mont Blanc evacuated before it exploded.
All crew on deck of the IMO were killed, and all people below deck survived.
Today in Halifax, there are cameras that scan every ship that leaves the harbor.
There were firemen that tried to put out the fire on the boats.
The Mont Blanc weighed 1,140 tons.
The Australian government gave $250,000 to Halifax.
Chicago gave Halifax $125,000.
Ontario gave $100,000.
The United Kingdom gave $1 million.
The mayor of London gave $600,000.
The British Red Cross gave $125,000.
King George gave $5,000.
This was the Halifax Disaster.